Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It is almost August, which means we are going into another TBR. Today I am playing my new TBR game that I created. I just made a little board that I saw some girl on Instagram make one, and I thought it was really cool. So I made a board, I have some dice, I'm gonna go around the board, and each month I'm just gonna start where I left off, and it's gonna be great. So I'm going to be rolling 9 times for 9 different prompts and then going through each of the books after I roll. And I am excited. It's going to be a very fun game, I think, and it will help me pick my books more efficiently. Okay, so roll number 1 of my new game board. 4. That's depressing. So I'm using this little pink dice. Can you see the pink dice? So I'm using this little pink dice to go around the board because I don't have an actual game piece that I want to use. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is a book in a series. So for the first prompt I got book in a series, and I have a lot of books in series that I'm actively working on. And I debated starting a new series for this, but that is not the prompt, is it? So I could do the last Dark Tower book, or I could do the next Dungeon Crawler Carl book. And I think I'm going to go with Dungeon Crawler Carl because that one sounds more fun right now. And it allows me to continue a series that I've been really liking. If you don't know what Dungeon Crawler Carl is about, it is a lit RPG, meaning it is a role-playing book where the main character goes through this dungeon and is collecting different supplies and leveling up and getting achievements and fighting all of the bad guys, so he can escape and save Earth. The aliens have come. They have decided Earth, it is time to go. So they destroy they destroy Earth, leave a dungeon, and say, all of you Earthlings that survived, get in the dungeon. We're going to play a game. And it is an alien reality TV show. The first book was super, super fun, and this is Carl's doomsday scenario, and it just picks up directly where the last book left off. So I think that will be a very good start to my month. Okay, roll number 2. 10. That's a better roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ew. Not you. That is a book that is YA. So next I got a YA book, and honestly, I do not like YA as much as I used to, so I'm going to try to pick something intriguing and fun and something that I actually want to read right now. I have Belladonna, Powerless, Foxglove King, Strange the Dreamer, and The Rose Bargain. And honestly, I'm not sure which one I want because none of them are jumping out at me. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and start a new series and pick Powerless. I'm nervous for this because I've heard it's got Hunger Games vibes, but also is about a prince and all of the fun fantasy stuff rather than dystopian. The last book in the series came out, and I've heard not so great things about the sequels to this book. So that makes me a little more cautious when reading it. But I do think I want to give it a try. I do want to go through it and see if I enjoy it. I'm going to put Powerless by Lauren Roberts on this TBR. Powerless is about an ordinary named Peyton, and the elites are trying to get rid of all the ordinaries, but she has been hiding as an elite her entire life. But that gets her thrown into these games that are to weed out all of the ordinaries and are supposed to show the most elite of the elites. And it's a fantasy romance, so you know some guy is going to come in and save her and take care of her, and they're going to win together or something. So I'm excited for it a little bit now that I'm thinking about it, but I've also had this sitting on my shelf for a while and haven't been tempted to pick it up until now. Okay, roll number 3. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A romantasy. That's a fun one, at least. The next book prompt that I got is romantasy. I have so many romanticies on this shelf that it's kind of crazy. I think I'm going to go with a shorter, quicker one, possibly. But I have Throne of the Fallen, and I've got Shield of Sparrows, Games Gods Play, Bloodguard, and then this entire row is fantasy romance, pretty much. So for my prompt of romancy, I'm going to go with Bloodguard by C.C. Robeson. We're just going to say it like that. This is a book, and it's kind of like Spartans and Gladiators rather than my original thought of vampires, because when I see blood, I think vampire, but it's not blood, as in that. So that says 100 years, tens of thousands of gladiators, and one will rise. So it is about different gladiators that fight to earn the title of Bloodguard, and this one man has been fighting for a very long time, and the elven royal princess takes him in and trains him up and takes him as her Bloodguard. And it's their story. So that sounds interesting. I'm assuming it's a fantasy romance or a romantasy, because it does say the princess is alluring in the blurb. But the back says, enter the arena, seize 2 weapons, now try to survive. And I think that sounds like a good time right now. And the artwork on the inside cover is really pretty, as is the naked hardback. So this book sounds like a good time right now, and I think I'm going to enjoy it. A dark academia book. This is kind of fun because I already have my ideas of what I want to read for these. Prompt number 4 was Dark Academia. On my shelf currently, I only have a couple. So for Dark Academia, I have The Will of the Many by James Islington and Immortal Dark by Tigist Germa. And I'm just going to call both of them Dark Academia. I'm not 100% sure if that's their actual genre, but they both involve school. They both involve sketchy things. And I think that fits, in my opinion, of Dark Academia. It's my game, my rules. I'm counting those as my options. So I think I'm going to go with Will of the Many, because I have been waiting to read this book since it came out. I got it from the library once and then just never picked it up to start it because I got involved in school and other books came out, so I never read it. But this book sounds amazing. He is invading a super prestigious school to uncover a murder, and it sounds just awesome, and I'm very excited to get started on this book. Roll number 5. 3. 1, 2, 3. A horror. So prompt number 5 was horror. I have a lot of Stephen King on my shelves, so I think I'm just going to go with a Stephen King book and call it good. I think I'm going to go with The Body. I know that this probably isn't the most terrifying of his horrors, but I think it is a good short option for a currently very large TBR. So I'm going to go with The Body by Stephen King. This is where a group of boys go to try to find a young man that has disappeared, and instead they find a body. And from there, things get a little creepy. So I want to read all of Stephen King's books, and so far I've read like 15 of them, so I'm making my way through them, and this will just get me one step closer. Roll number 6. 8. Give a Second Chance. So this is a book that I've put down and need to pick back up. I kind of regret some of the things I put on this board. The next prompt was give a book a second chance. This is something that I have softy enough and then never picked back up. And I don't think I have any on my cart is the problem. So my next prompt was give a book a second chance, and I am choosing Fourth Wing for this prompt. I am a girly who picked this up, read 30 pages of it, was kind of thinking it was super cringy and not liking the writing, and then put it down because I wanted something a little bit darker and easier to read at the moment. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows what Fourth Wing is about by now. Dragon, riders, really weird romance between a student and a kid that's a couple years older than her that she's always told that she shouldn't be with. But I have not had the motivation to pick this back up, and I think this prompt is going to force me to do so. So fourth wing is Violet Sorengale. She wants to be a scribe and has trained her entire life to be a scribe, and the day of her choosing, her mom is like, no, I'm the captain of the Dragon Riders, you're going to be a dragon rider like your sister. So she goes and does that, and Xaden Ryerson is the couple years older than her and is the wing leader. So she has a lot of time to spend with him, and you know how it goes. She falls for him. They're not supposed to be together, but they ended up together, that type of thing. I feel bad never reading this because everybody says it's wonderful, but I'm just really scared that I'm going to end up hating it and being in the minority. So that's that. Rule number 7. 4. What does that say? Oh, a Scholastic Bowl book. So this is a book that I learned of because of Quiz Bowl / Scholastic Bowl in high school. So the next prompt was prompt number 7, and it is a Scholastic Bowl book. So if you've never done Scholastic Bowl or heard of Scholastic Bowl, it's like Quiz Bowl. A bunch of kids get together. There's teams of 5, and you answer random questions about all of the different subjects. And it's fastest to the buzzer gets to answer. Most of these Scholastic Bowl questions involve classic books, and I'm not really in a mood for classic, so I'm going to do the one that seems the least painful to me right now. I think that's going to be Dante's Inferno, mainly because it's told in verse, and I feel like I can get through that a lot quicker than a full novel that is a classic currently, because a full novel that is a classic sounds, excuse me? She fell over and attacked me. Sounds pretty terrible, quite honestly. So we're just going to go with this. If I get to it, I get to it. And if I don't, I'll just fail the TBR. I'm not that concerned about it. So Dante's Inferno is going on, and I'm not really sure what it's about. I know it's got the 7 circles of hell, and that's where that comes from. And I know he's trying to leave. Yeah, so he's trying to leave hell, which is, a blast. So this is what's going to go on the TBR, and if I get to it, I get to it. And if I don't, I'm not that concerned. Roll number 8. 8. A book in a series, again. Can you tell I need to finish series? Number 8 was also a book in the series, and I don't know how I landed on it twice. I just put it on the game board a few times to force myself to read books in series. So for this one, for a book in a series, I'm going to go with The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. I really, really like Angels and Demons. I thought that book was great. I really liked the movie. And I think Robert Langdon is probably one of my favorite characters. He's a very just sarcastic, no-nonsense guy, and he gets what he wants, and I really like him. And I like the different puzzles and mysteries that go with these books. So I think I'm going to go with The Da Vinci Code. In this one, he goes to France instead of the Vatican, and he has to figure out the different codes that the police can't figure out, and solve the murders and stop the murders of special people in politics, and it follows the same type of plot as the first one. But very excited. So Olivia Reads a Latte calls this dad lit, and I am completely in on that. I really like these types of books, and it does feel like something that you would give your dad for Christmas. And final roll number 9. 7. A book published between 2000 and 2010. I think that was a good dice because I got pretty far. So finally, my last prompt was read a book between 2000 and 2010. I have one book on this cart that fits that prompt, and that is The Dark Tower by Stephen King. It is the last book of the Dark Tower series, and I don't think I'm mentally or emotionally ready for this book. But we're going to go for it. We're going to see how it ends up. And I'm terrified that the dog's going to die. And if it does, I'm going to cry at work, because that's just how it's going to be. I have the audiobook for this. I'm not physically reading this masterpiece. But this is the last book, and I'm so scared. So to recap, for all of the books that I chose today, I've got The Da Vinci Code for a book in a series, Dante's Inferno for a Scholastic Bowl book, The Body for a horror, Powerless for a YA book, Stephen King's The Dark Tower for a 2000 to 2010 publication date, Carl's Doomsday Scenario for a book in a series, Fourth Wing for giving a book a second chance, Bloodguard for a romantasy, and finally, The Will of the Many for a dark academia book. That TBR is massive. I don't believe I'll finish it because that's just a lot to get through in a month. Yeah. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you think. If you haven't and you want to read some of these books, also let me know. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Have a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and goodbye.